baby, baby, don't take it personal. Just want a little day when a girl goes through. Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? It is Kat at Dusankopa. I'm coming at you real quick with a video that I decided to make on the fly, partially for my own chronicles, so I can look back at it. But yeah, so I want to talk about writing today. So I have gotten to the part of my doctoral studies in my PhD program where self-motivation is on another level. Self-motivation right now is the thing, one of the hugest pieces that I'm realizing is going to get me from this level to the next level. Everybody's PhD programs has different requirements. And so whatever your requirements may look like, there's sure to be coursework and there's sure to be life after coursework. And so I'm in the life of my program where the part of the stage of my program, I should say, where it is after coursework. And so the motivation that I need to find right now, the focus that I need to find right now is pretty gargantuan for me. And it's also fairly, like, I don't want to use the word intimidating. It's also very humbling. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's very humbling. And so what am I exactly talking about? I wrote 5 little notes down here on my little notepad of what I am learning about in this particular moment of writing and reading and editing, heavy writing, heavy reflection and thinking. What am I coming up with? First thing that I got here, these are just my reflections on this moment as I am finished with coursework and I am doing the pre-comprehensive exams work that I need to do to continue tightening up some of my papers. And then, I will start writing my comps. But I'm in that deep reflection stage. So first thing that I've realized that is really important for me as a writer, as a person who is writing academically and learning to write academically, and is in the deep practice of writing academically. Number 1, it is deeply self-involved. What do I mean by self-involved? I mean that it is so me. It is so you if you're in that position. It is so me to be self-involved with the work that there's almost like a blinders that's happening and that I need to happen in order to get in the zone of this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm stationed at, this is where my vehicle is parked, I am doing X, Y, and Z. And so there's a certain level of containment away from everything else so that the work can happen, which is really one thing to think and to know it and to be like, yes, of course, I need to do this and I need to do that. But for me, the practice of actually having it come to fruition and seeing it play out, that I am in a different place, I'm in a different location, I'm by myself, I'm able to just literally sit and write and not engage with anyone else and just be alone and deeply self-involved with myself, my laptop, my thoughts, my post-its, my tools is really very humbling, because from that place then comes the ideas, then comes the better reflection on editing, then comes the better reflection on what was that point here, what did this feedback mean, how am I interpreting that feedback, what do I want to use that feedback for, is the feedback helpful, is it feedback I'll save for later, is that something I could use for another paper. So I'm going back and forth with myself, any feedback I've received prior, and it's a very humbling experience to be in the mode of creation. It's wonderful, and that's partially why I'm actually doing what I'm doing, which is earning a PhD. Because I love to read to some degree, and I love to write to some degree. Number two, it is a privilege. This is number two. It is a privilege. It is a deep privilege to be able to read and write. Point blank, period. It is a deep privilege to be able to read and write and to have that be the core of the mechanisms that you're using to get your work pulled together, to do whatever work it is that you have to do. It's something that I do not take for granted, especially as I know that there's levels to the ease or difficulty in the activity of reading and writing. And there's also motivation that goes along with that, motivation that's there, motivation that's not there. And so it is a deep privilege to be at this particular place in my academic journey, to be able to now put out the things that matter to me, the things I've been thinking about for years and thoughts I've been bringing together, and also do the daring thing, which is to attempt to put them together, to write them, to pull the ideas in, to get the things out of here and onto paper, onto page, and have it look like other pieces of literature, in the sense that it's there's a formula, there's a way, there's a method, but also that is something really special and really beautiful, and I'm very privileged. I understand that kind of intellectual labor, that thinking labor, that feeling labor, is real. Number three, it is deeply personal. And what I'm writing about is deeply personal. What I'm writing about has to do with a lot of things that I've seen in my life experience, especially as an educator. And so it is my story, it is somebody's story, it is somebody's story that hasn't been born yet, it is somebody's story that's just barely born. And so I take it seriously, and it's deeply personal. You make of it what you will, in your own journey as a scholar, as a thinker, as an intellectual, also, you know, involves a bit of storytelling. And so that's why I say it's deeply personal. Number four, it's on your own terms. What do I mean by that? What I mean by it's on your own terms is that you write as you want to write. You develop as you want to develop. It is on your own terms what you say, how you say it, when you say it, the order in which you say it, which words you use to say it, what language you uphold, what language you bring down, what language and articulation of that do you then place in the center? What do you move away from the center? The ability to create while being intellectual and bringing them together is something that I'm starting to get in another way that I find interesting, which is why I wanted to record this moment for myself. It's a lot of work. That is an aside. And then the last thing, number five, that I would say is I'm having a ritual. Have a ritual around doing it. And so what I'm learning in this moment is that a ritual is important to me. Got my beverages, got my snacks, got my tools that I like to use. Maybe I'll make another video about the things that I like to have with me that help me as a writer and as a reader, as a thinker, as a student, that I always have to have with me, no matter where I am globally. I need to have these things with me and be able to do the work. And so the ritual also includes for me sitting near a window. It includes for me getting sunlight directly in either direction, right? It includes for me having my beverages and my snacks. It includes having Post-its, right? But it also includes getting up really early and just writing. And sometimes that early can look like 6 a.m., right? And sometimes I don't actually like open the laptop until 6:30 or 7. And sometimes I don't get words together until an hour or two later. So yeah, so the ritual includes like working my way to it, working my way through it to get comfortable and like start to let the things come to me and come out of me. And so right now, that's all I wanted to share. I'm really excited because this is not easy. This is extremely challenging and difficult. And there are a lot of things that are coming from my attention and my focus, right? But the feeling that I get is one that I treasure. And it's one that is really special to me and I will hold dear to me and protect fiercely because it is one that allows me to be in the driver's seat of what I am creating and therefore contributing. So I get to take the things that I see here, that I feel here, what I know from experiential opportunities, what I know from reading other literature and from years and years and years and several degrees later, now the point of what have I learned and what is it that's important for me to say. And so that ability to decide what your contribution will be, even if nobody else gets it, it's really special. So I just wanted to say that to give you encouragement because I am having my own encouragement right now. And part of that encouragement is to not give up, to continue allowing myself to be in the moment and to write and to think and to edit. And it takes a long time. It is not something that happens in 5 minutes. When I'm being really intentional and really better about it, and I'm really taking it very, very seriously, then it takes a long time. When I'm just rushing and putting something together, I throw something together. But what I'm doing now, because I'm done with coursework, that shift from being in coursework to preparing to get to candidacy is something completely different. And maybe I'll make a video about that mindset, because I'm in it, and I feel the difference. And it's also one that I get to articulate for myself, I get to design for myself, but in doing that, I also let go of myself as a student and start to walk towards myself as a contributor, right? So that's exciting. That's a mindset change. That's the work is different that you're doing. The way that you access things is different. And so I'm just really excited. So again, the 5 things were what I'm learning about writing in this moment is that it's deeply self-involved. It is a privilege. Number 2, it is deeply personal. Number 3, you do it on your own terms. Number 4, and number 5, have a ritual around it. All right, see you guys later. Bye.